Hey everyone, this video is going to be pretty informal. I just wanted to update you guys on what's going on, and while I do that, I'll make little hair ties that I include in all of my Etsy orders, so big fan of multitasking. So anyway, the machine is still not fixed. I was on the phone and texting with Redline for much of the day yesterday. A lot of it just consisted of doing what's called an H test. If you're not familiar with that, that is a specific embroidery file with a series of letter H's that's designed to be stitched using each of the needles on your machine. So mine has 15 needles, the H test has 15 H's, so that would mean that each stitch or each needle gets stitched or gets stitches one H, sorry. So anyway, did those. There's another one, a fox test, where it's a couple of circles with the word fox inside of it, and it basically is just checking your attention and your registration, whereas the H test is just checking your attention, at least to my understanding. Didn't learn anything from any of that stuff, any of those tests. Of course the tests look fine, but then when I went to stitch an actual item, the registration was off. But when I stitched that item just with on stabilizer only, not the either felt or marine vinyl, it stitched fine. So today I was told, well, your machine is running great because it works fine on the stabilizer, and they said, well, you know, that you need to, you know, have different tension settings and needles and stuff like that for different thicknesses of fabrics. But I mean, I'm not disputing that. What I'm disputing is that causing my issues, because I've adjusted nothing. I use the same 7011 needles, and I have not adjusted the tension at all, and I'm getting a different result. So that tells me that that's not the issue. And all this started on Thursday when I had the banging sound. So I'm thinking whatever caused the banging sound also is causing my registration issues. So, but again, it's really hard to master all this kind of stuff, and, you know, and if you don't know all of it, it's hard to really say with authority, well, you know, this is what's wrong, and, you know, how do I fix that issue? It's the diagnosing of the problem that is the biggest struggle. So so anyway, I told them, no, it's not running great. If I can't actually make anything with it, you know, then no, it's not. So they had me do another H test. I've got 3 of them sitting over there on my work table. And then they had me film it, and I was getting the error code 18 where it doesn't know what needle it's on all of a sudden. I got that, I think, 3 times. I don't know, I just set up the tripod like I have right now, and I filmed the whole thing and sent it to them. And yeah, it stitched it fine, and then as I was uploading that video onto Google Photos, so I could share it with them because it's too big to email, I thought, well, okay, well, they said it's working fine, and, you know, maybe I'll get an acceptable result on what I was doing. So let me grab this. So I thought, okay, well, make something. So I started making a keychain, and as you can see, it stitched the first word, and I got more of those error code 18s, you know, after each step. And then this is the 3rd step, because the first one was the placement stitch. Hopefully you can see this okay, but the needle was moving up and down, and as you can see here, wasn't actually stitching anything, and it was doing that loud banging noise again, like super loud. It sounded like something came loose in the machine and was just, you know, getting thrown around inside the head of the machine. No idea what it was, but that's what it sounded like. So very frustrating. And when it started making that banging sound, I I stopped the machine, went and got my phone and took a video of that and sent that to them too and said, okay, this is what I just dealt with here. So suddenly now, let me pull up the message real quick. Now they're saying that the head of the machine is not properly centered on a needle. That's what they're thinking it is at this point. So yeah, that makes sense to me a lot more than, you know, just run a bunch of H tests and stuff like that. And there's this little screw on the needle bar I was supposed to adjust, and for one of them I kind of just loosened it, and I might have turned it a little bit and then tightened it again, and that made the banging sound go away on that needle, but then it was happening on others, and this one was a different needle. And so they said, okay, we'll do that same thing on that one. Well, I can't physically loosen the screw because it was tightened that way by the factory. So yeah. And it's very confusing because if it's never been moved in 3.5 years, why do I suddenly need to adjust it now? I don't know. That part is not clear to me. So yeah. So anyway, pretty stressful. I had to adjust all the inventory in my Etsy shop, you can see right here, to only stock on hand except for the smaller items, because if I don't get the machine fixed, my mom lives 5 minutes away and bought that Brother, I forgot the letters, but ends in 625, with a little 4x4 hoop. I had the SE 400 for a long time and never had an issue with it. $300 machine, no issues. Anyway, so I can always drive over there and fill orders for smaller items. So I have those listed in the shop. So yeah, not great because it's already very difficult to earn adequate income doing this sort of work. The profit margins on a lot of my items are very slim, to the point that I might be phasing some of them out, the masks in particular. It takes a lot longer than you might think to make those because of all the trimming involved. So yeah, having to reevaluate a lot of things. I'm continuing to search for a full-time job. Like, I don't know how to describe it because this is a full-time job, but you know what I mean, like working for somebody else basically. So there's a couple options. I can do administrative work, case management, like I mentioned in the past video. There's a few different types of things like that that I have qualifications to do, so we'll just see how it goes. So anyway, thanks so much. A lot of you left some really kind comments on my last video, so thank you. Those really helped. I don't know. They just did. They're really helpful. So I really appreciate them. I know I responded to all of them saying thank you, but thank you again. The internet can be a really nasty place sometimes, as we all very well know. So it's really, really great when you know, when people are kind and, you know, instead of being quick to criticize somebody, just to empathize. So anyway. Thanks so much, take care, and hope you're all doing well, and we'll talk soon. Bye.